The goal is not only that the employee and the company benefit from the Rhode Island Work-Share program, even the state is a winner because it suffers no net job loss. Dean Baker of the liberal Washington think tank, the Center for Economic and Policy Research, believes the value of the program is something everyone ought to be able to agree on.
If the government's prepared to give someone a check every month because they're not working, why aren't they willing to give them 1/5 as much because they're 1/5 unemployed? It just makes common sense, and I've talked with a lot of conservatives about it, basically see it exactly the same way.
Work-sharing programs are on the books in 22 other states, but Baker says they're underutilized, and he wants a broad federal initiative to promote them. Rhode Island has aggressively promoted its program. State officials say Work-Share helped prevent over 16,000 layoffs since 2007. Still, Rhode Island's unemployment rate is 10.5%, higher than the national average. But officials say it would have been even higher without the Work-Share plan. But how much really can a program like this be expected to accomplish?
This isn't the type of program that's going to create jobs. Is this just a short-term fix?
Well, in principle, what we need is a short-term fix in the sense that we don't envision we're going to have 9% unemployment indefinitely. It's a fix that could get us through the recession.
Well, what about if an employer says, oh, here's a great program where I could get my workers to work harder for less amount of time, less money, and let the government pick up the rest?
There's always that risk. You know, obviously if an employer thinks that they could get their workers to work 10% harder, you know, they'll try to get them to do it, you know, unless they're worried they're all going to quit. So there's always that tension.
But Baker says that if implemented correctly, work-sharing can reverse the trend of high unemployment. He says just take a look at Germany. Work-sharing was among the tools it used to minimize job losses during the downturn. In fact, Germany's unemployment rate dropped from 8% in the summer of 2009 to 5.9% by August 2011. We spoke to labor economist Alexander Herzog-Stein in his office in Dusseldorf.
Unemployment, as a consequence of a crisis, is not an individual problem. It's a problem for a society, and therefore a society has to work together to overcome this problem, to solve it.
The Germans' work-sharing program is similar to Rhode Island's, though it goes by a different name, the Short-Time Work Program. And in Germany, it's played out on a national scale. When the economic crisis hit in 2008, the government reacted quickly.
The government was very proactive in making publicly aware that it is a good thing to use short-time work, to be a good employer, to save employment.
Some 1.5 million Germans part in the program during the crisis, about 3.5% of the total labor force.
Not long ago, some people were talking about the German economy and especially the German labor market as the sick man of Europe. And then suddenly some people talk about the German job miracle. By saving employment during the downturn, when the economy was growing again, German companies were well equipped to produce the goods necessary to fulfill this demand, and that's also part of this quick recovery.
Germany used this program at the beginning of the crisis. Are we at a place where it's too late?
Well, it certainly would have been best if we had this in place back in the fall of '08, if we could have gone to the employers that were laying off people in very large numbers and say, hey, why don't you keep people on, have them work 20% fewer hours. We lost that opportunity, but we will still benefit a great deal if we had the program in place today.